Let's talk about what could be one of the most anticipated fights of all time. It's the fight between two men from different worlds, different styles, and different eras. It's the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Now, when this fight was first announced, it was met with a lot of skepticism, like most of the influencer boxing matches we've seen over the years. But this one is different. This one actually makes sense. You have two guys who are willing to stand in the ring and brawl. Now, there are some who say that this fight shouldn't happen because Jake Paul will get hurt badly, but that's missing the point. The whole idea of this match is that it will transcend boxing. This will be one of the biggest events of the year, even if it doesn't live up to all the hype. And we've seen evidence of that already. Just look at the pre-fight press conference. It was filled with trash talk, personal insults, and even some shoving. These two fighters don't like each other, which makes this match feel real. Something that a lot of these other influencer matches lack. But let's be honest. Part of the reason why this fight is getting so much attention is because of Mike Tyson. He's a legend who needs no introduction. Tyson was arguably the most dominant heavyweight champion in history. He was known for his ferocious fighting style and his knockout power. In fact, 44 of his 50 wins came by knockout. He was also known for his intimidating presence. He used to walk out to the ring with the song Gone Nay Fly Now playing, and that alone was enough to scare his opponents. Tyson was simply a force of nature, and he dominated the boxing world in the 1980s and early 90s. He was the youngest heavyweight champion in history at 20 years old, and he went on to defend his title 6 times before losing to James Douglas in one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. After serving time in prison for rape, Tyson returned to the ring in 1996 and regained the world heavyweight title 3 years later. He had a rematch with Douglas and won by knockout in the first round. Now, Jake Paul is a completely different breed. He's a young fighter who has yet to lose a professional fight. But his path to boxing has been a bit unconventional. Paul started his career as a Disney star, appearing in the popular show but he soon became more interested in social media, and he started making a name for himself on Vine, where he posted short comedy videos. When Vine shut down, Paul moved to YouTube and Instagram, where he continued to grow his following. However, Paul was always interested in fighting, and he began training at a young age. In fact, his older brother Logan Paul is also a professional fighter, so it was only a matter of time before Jake Paul followed in his brother's footsteps. He made his professional debut in 2018, and he has since compiled a record of 5-0, with 4 of those wins coming by knockout. Now, Paul has faced some criticism for taking on fellow influencers, but he has defended himself by saying that he's not trying to avoid real boxers. In fact, he's been calling out several UFC champions, including Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. Now, Paul may finally get his wish, as he's set to face a true legend in Mike Tyson. So how will these two fighters match up? Well, that's a tough question. On one hand, Tyson is a bigger and stronger opponent. He's a former heavyweight champion who has stopped some of the best fighters in the world. On the other hand, Paul is younger and faster. He's also undefeated as a professional, and he has a lot of confidence in his abilities. Ultimately, I think that Tyson will win this fight. I mean, how could anyone bet against a man who was once known as the baddest man on the planet? Plus, Tyson has been training hard for this fight, and he seems confident that he can beat Paul. But that doesn't mean that it will be easy. Paul is a skilled fighter, and he's not going to back down from a challenge. In fact, Paul has said that he is looking forward to the fight, and he is confident that he can win. Of course, the fight will be different than anything Paul has ever experienced before. Tyson is a legend, and he's a fighter who truly embodies the sweet science. He's strong, powerful, and technically skilled. Plus, he has a lot of experience fighting top-level competition. All of that will be a step up for Paul, who has yet to prove himself against a fighter of Tyson's caliber. And then there's the issue of size. Tyson is a big, muscular man who has a lot of knockout power. He's also very experienced and technical. That will be a tough test for Paul, who is a smaller fighter. He's also relatively inexperienced. Of course, Paul has shown a lot of promise in his young career. He's undefeated, and he's shown some skills in the ring. Plus, he's very motivated, and he's trained hard for this fight. Still, I think that Tyson will be too much for him. He's a legend who has proven himself against the best fighters in the world. He's also a fighter who truly embodies the sweet science. He's strong, powerful, and technically skilled. Plus, he has a lot of experience fighting top-level competition. All of that will be a step up for Paul, who is a smaller fighter. He's also relatively inexperienced. The undercard for the Tyson-Paul fight is also stacked with talent. Two of the most exciting prospects in boxing today, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, will be facing off in a lightweight showdown that is sure to be a bar. Plus, there will be a host of other top-ranked fighters on the card as well. So fans are in for a night of exciting fights. So what do you think? Can Jake Paul pull off the upset and defeat Mike Tyson, or will Tyson live up to his nickname and dominate Paul? Let me know in the comments below. Now, let's take a look at the betting odds for this fight. As expected, Tyson is the heavy favorite to win this fight, with the odds at minus 1,800. That means that you would need to bet $1,800 to win $100. Now, if you're a fan of boxing, you know that anything can happen in the ring. So don't be surprised if Paul pulls off the upset and defeats Tyson. After all, it's not unheard of for an underdog to win a fight. In fact, it happens all the time. If you want to make some money on this fight, you should probably bet on Tyson to win. He's the favorite for a reason. However, if you're feeling lucky, you could always bet on Paul to pull off the upset. Either way, it should be an exciting fight, and the winner will earn a lot of money. Here are the official betting odds for the fight from a popular sportsbook. As you can see, Tyson is the heavy favorite to win the fight with odds of minus 1,200. That means that you would need to bet $1,200 to win $100. Now, even though Tyson is the favorite to win this fight, that doesn't mean that it will be easy for him. Paul is a skilled fighter and he's not going to back down from a challenge. In fact, Paul has said that he's looking forward to the fight and he's confident that he can win. So Tyson can't afford to underestimate Paul, or he could be in for a surprise. So, who do you think will win this fight? Will Tyson dominate Paul? Or will Paul pull off the upset? Let me know in the comments below. If you're looking for a place to watch the fights, you have a few options. You can watch it on pay-per-view, or you can stream it on a subscription service. Pay-per-view is the traditional way to watch fights, and it costs $89.99. However, a subscription service is a newer way to watch fights, and it costs $19.99 per month. A subscription service is a good option if you want to watch the fight without paying for pay. Well, that wraps it up for this video. What do you think of the upcoming fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul? Are you excited to see these two fighters go head-to-head in the ring? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching.